3. That was Xcode 4. And Xcode 3 is a lot more familiar for me. So I still do Audacity development in Xcode 3. Xcode 4 quitting or what? I don't like to have them both running. I don't know what would happen. And actually, I don't know if I've built Audacity since then. Since I installed Xcode 4 about 2 weeks ago. I think I've just been running Audacity. Anyway, we'll find out if there are any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit build now, see what happens. Also go to the terminal here. What did I want to do? When you're having a brain fart, it's a good time to drink some water. So I think my video is crapping out, and that happens whenever the processor reaches a certain demand level. So I apologize, but you weren't getting that much information from seeing my face anyway. But for those interested, I'm drinking water. And it's pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera out of the way until it goes back to normal. And we can look at the terminal. Yeah, I was going to do the same thing as I was in Linux, and that's... I want to check to see... I'm pretty sure we have the patch applied here. So before we start testing out somebody else's patch, we should remove our local one. Yeah, and this is a much more comprehensive patch. And I don't know, yeah, I believe I've added stuff to it already. I mean, I've added the files. Yeah. The file is called switch set current command project here. Unfortunately, I'm using VNC to display the screen here. It works pretty good, except you can't see the cursor. So I apologize about that. On my Linux box, the cursor isn't displayed. I can see it in front of me on my screen, but the capture doesn't get that. So what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure I have a patch for this in source patches. And it's probably called, there's a bunch of patches, but it's probably called add open script change project source diff. I'd like to know the difference between those two. Well, they're pretty different sizes, so I'm going to diff them. Okay, so I'm just going to diff them and see. So the larger one has all these project things. It also has this isn't that telling. Yeah, so the larger one I think is what we want. The smaller one is just the diff from the source directory. So we want to undo the entire diff. So I'm going to do svn, is it capital R? Let's do it, patch. The revert command is capital R, right? Reverse, yeah. And it's definitely better to type reverse. So that's called source patches add change project dot patch. Let's try this. The next patch, when reversed, would delete no, you can delete it, that's okay. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Why don't you cancel that? I hope that didn't do something. Okay, what was the first line of the diff? It was orphantest.pl. Okay, good. Yep. So it didn't go anywhere. Probably. Wait, did I already save the patch? Yeah, before I do anything. No, I didn't. I'm getting confused because I did it on my Linux box. svn diff, and we want to save Jan 15 add open script change proj patch. And that should go to source patches. Yeah, and the reason for this is I just remembered I changed a bunch of PL files. I'm not sure. Actually, they're not in source control, so it doesn't matter. I'm just blabbering on, and it's fine. Oh shit, I did that while the thing was building. Oh well. We'll stop and rebuild. Okay, rebuild. It's probably in a lib file, in a library project, so not that big of a deal. Camel works again. Okay. And also we want to update. So there's a little bit of setup if you've been working on other stuff and you want to change between patches, but can't be helped. So let me look at the state of our... Okay, so the Linux side built successfully, and let's run it just to make sure. Yeah. I'm using... Am I using a debug build? Yeah, I guess so. So this is a debug build. Lately I've been using a release build because there's been some reports that things might only work on crash on release builds for certain bugs. But when I'm using the debug build, I do this kind of backwards thing. Where I need this command. To run Audacity. I know some people don't like this. I've read some blogs about that, but using the LD library path. But this is just my local build, so I think I can do, you know, whatever works fastest for me. So it works. The mic works great. Now I can go ahead and... So, looks like I need the Mac to test the patch on the Mac. But I was just setting that stuff up. Okay, so I'm going to close this and reopen it, just in case. Because SVN has just updated. And before I apply the patch, I want to verify that something is wrong. I want to verify the bug. I want to see the before and after state. And presumably this bug doesn't affect Mac. Let's take a look. That's not the right window. Yeah. So, problem, background does not get erased. Something happens 100% of the time. Comment out the set mask call and frequency. Draw plot. So I believe what is happening is draw plot, which essentially sets the background to transparent using a mask. It's called from various places, followed by refresh true, which copies from bitmap. For whatever reason, the erase does not happen on my remote desktop session. Why is there a remote desktop session? Let's see. The problem happens 100% time when I remote desktop to my WinPC. So it looks like maybe it's not a problem locally, but only over a remote desktop. Okay, well, okay. Let's look at that patch one more time, because I thought he said he's commenting stuff out. This doesn't look like he's commenting anything out. I definitely don't see anything commented out. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So that was my embarrassing, rather noobish comment of the day. He's removing this line. Straight up. Alright, so you can remove that line, and presumably that allows something else to get drawn. I don't know. Anyway, we're using a remote desktop session of our own. This is a VNC, but a view-only VNC. So we might be able to see this bug. I bet that he simply hasn't tested on, well, I don't know if he created this bug or not. So, 2010, no, I think this was around before I started seeing Norm C's name. Okay. I'm still waiting for the Mac side to build. It does take quite a while, as you can see. 98 of 237. Yeah. My Mac's about 6 years old? 2006. Now it's 2012. Yeah, it's 6 years old. Yeah, no getting around that. Audacity on the Mac takes a lot longer